Welcome to another episode of Football Theory with your hosts Ivan and Guti. Guti, how you doing, man?
I'm great. Excited to be here. Episode 8. Let's roll it
Episode
out.
8. That's right. Guti came in with that fresh cut, the nice lower in the ears, getting fresh because if I'm correct, you're heading to Vegas this weekend for the Gold Cup final.
I am. I am going to go to Vegas. So shout out to my barber, Yudi, who hooked me up right now. A little one on the side, just a little nice fade, nothing crazy to get ready for Vegas.
Yo, so and meeting him there could be Mexico. They won the quarterfinals game on Saturday. They beat Honduras, took care of them 3-0. Pretty dominant performance. Goals from Fujimori early on. Couple of goals called offsides. Jonathan Dos Santos with a beautiful volley. Orbelin Pineda with a header as well to finish it off. And just a complete dominance in the first half for Mexico. Second half, more just kind of saw the game out. Finally, a performance I think that everybody was expecting from Mexico. Guti, what'd you think?
Yeah, I think everything was just hitting on point. You just said like the 3 goals are kind of plays that Mexico had been working, even going back to the Trinidad Tobago game where just some nice crosses in, try to get that second rebound, and Funes Mori was able to get it on the first try on the header. Like you said before, Berlin had the same almost identical play as well, and then just seeing Jonathan being able to come from the midfield, score goals. That's the way that kind of wants midfielders to be scoring goals too. That's why he only plays with that 1-9. So I think it's just one of those games, just everything worked out in the first 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and Honduras was done at that point.
Yeah, we talked about a little bit of Honduras' problem entering the game with some injuries, some COVID stuff, and you can see they were just pretty undermanned the whole game. And Mexico, for their part, really took it at them, made sure that they were on the front foot, even when things kind of got, some goals were called offsides or some things like that could have frustrated them. They really just kind of kept the pedal to the metal the first half and really just ended this game by halftime, really made it really comfortable for themselves.
Yeah, man, everything just worked out for Mexico against Honduras. Just going off of all the plays they were talking about, the goals came off the same chances that they were trying to create against other teams. So I think everything just worked out for them. Honduras ran out of gas, like you said. Honduras had some players out because of COVID, and it was just a typical kind of a Mexico start that we wanted to see in the rest of the Copa Oro. That we didn't see the first 2 group games, right?
Yeah, I think now the team kind of gets confidence about that too, because I saw some really good performances. Like when you talked about Jonathan playing with confidence and what he brings to the table. I think that's a player that really trusts, and you see it, and you saw it today, or you saw that game, why he likes playing him and the things he does pretty well against competition like that. Fujimori's finally getting the goal, or getting some goals in again, and you kind of saw what he brings to the table.
Yeah.
And Orbelin coming back, bouncing back real nicely as well. And the team still hasn't given up a goal, which is impressive because I think for the most part, the defense might be what a lot of Mexican fans don't trust the most, even though the offense isn't scoring goals. The defense is, I think, where people don't feel the most confident in, considering who we have on the back line. I think a lot of people would want a different back line almost.
The back line's okay. The back line's okay. I think it's all right. It's probably not like okay, how do I say this? They're probably not the best. They're not at their moment right now. Like they're probably not at the hype of their career or the height of their career. Like, Moreno obviously is one of the best defenders we have, but maybe he's not at that. I don't know. I've never been a fan of Araujo either, so I don't know. The people are kind of like, well, these aren't the best defenders we have available. Maybe that's why they're thinking that, but it's okay. I would say our defensive line is probably a B defensive line. I think you have a couple players that are missing here and there, and you could plug in some guys from the Olympics too. But it's okay. It's getting us by.
Yeah, it is getting us by. And, I think one of the things that's pretty underrated about, or something that we as fans don't think about too much when it comes to international soccer, is the fact that sometimes you just need really good cohesion. And in a defensive line that's not having about the best players, you need them to kind of know each other and have good chemistry in the back line.
Right.
And I think, Juan Carlos Osorio, for I think a lot of things he did positively, you kind of sometimes saw a dysfunctional back line or a team that didn't mesh completely defensively in the back line at times because he did rotate a lot of players, where here I think they kind of know each other pretty well for the most part with Tata. But, I guess for you, who would you be if you could choose, let's say the World Cup's in a year away, who do you kind of see right now in the pecking order for the back line? I guess who do you like? Because there's two ways of thinking about it, right? So what's Tata gonna do, and who do you want or who do you like?
You know, my likes are a little bit different. I think I can hear myself again. What happened? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, there's no feedback. For my defensive likes, you know, I don't know. I guess it's something my uncle told me. Bringing back to him, shout out to my tío Jose in Boise. He said, "Mijo, you want Rafa Marquez, and he's not coming back." So, like in my mind, there's like this like nostalgia of like players like Carlos Salcido, players that like I just grew up watching. I'm like, I want this kind of guy, and they're not there. So I don't know. I'm not too picky. I really do like how Johan Vasquez played the first game in the Olympics. I didn't like how he played the second game, but a player like that, we'll see how he grows in a couple months. You know, I know it's really quick for the World Cup qualifiers, and I don't think Tata has time to kind of experiment with that, right, Ivan? I mean, I think he has to go straight to like, we need to get these points and get these results right away. So with that, you're going to have to see Hector Moreno, you know, a veteran who's going to get some playing time in Monterrey. Obviously, he's going to be playing, probably starting this course. So, you know, you're going to have a player like him. You know, Chaka's going to play in Tigres, right? You know, and that's kind of like the benefit of having these guys play in the Liga MX is that if they're good enough defenders, they're actually getting playing time in their home league, you know, and not having to worry about defenders that are playing in Europe and not getting ticks, you know, and then come World Cup qualifying, they don't have that, you know, playing rhythm. So I think it's okay to have some guys playing in Monterrey and Tigres. You know, I think it's gonna be all right. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think for me, I think the defender he likes the most, or I think maybe the one I don't know, the one I have the most confidence in, and I don't know why, is Carlos Salcedo, because I think he's a gamer. I think he in the moment he appreciates the moment. He also he sees every opportunity to foul as a way to foul because he's never seen a foul and not passed it up. So I think
I love him.
I think he gets a little older. You hopefully kind of get those little dumb fouls. He kind of gets out of the way, but he's a gamer and he's not afraid to kind of put in a tackle to kind of set the tone too, which I think sometimes is needed. And he's pretty versatile. He can play a lot of different positions too.
He's probably the most athletic one, you know, out of the guys.
He's you know, you can always kind of count on almost kind of like sometimes a boneheaded mistake every once in a while with him.
He's done them. He's done them very often.
Se le sube sangre sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I sangre. I think, but then we could say, I mean, going back, and I know we're getting off topic, but Rafa Marquez, that was the biggest thing he had the first 10 years. You know, like when he was in Barcelona doing his thing in his heyday, the biggest thing with Mexico was like if things weren't going right, he would do a bonehead play. You know, and I never got mad at him for that kind of stuff. I mean, you're speaking to a guy that got red cards at the wrong moments for his team as well. I'm probably infamous for that, and I don't take pride in that. I wish I would have thought a little more through it, but I think Carlos Salcedo does that. He kind of says, you know what, like I'm gonna get a foul here, I'm gonna get a yellow or whatever, but you know you're gonna know what's up. You know, this is my area right here, and or he even just does a little payback. He does some paybacks here and there. I mean, Rafa Marquez used to do that. I mean, he went into Howard, cleats up. You know, he gave McBride or whatever. You know, or was it Kobe John, whoever he gave it to in the back of the head. I mean, it's I guess it's titled dirty, but I think also these defenders are, you know, a guy like Salcedo and Rafa Marquez are guys that like are in the game and like they don't want to lose, you know, and they're upset and they're gonna take it out on the guy that's right there. So I'm okay with it. It's part of the game, man. It's part of the game.
Yeah, I think these guys are the team in general is finding their rhythm pretty nicely now here moving forward. Looking at before we move on to the other games of the quarterfinals, any last thoughts on Honduras, especially, you know, what you saw out of them now and then moving forward as well into World Cup qualifying?
I think Honduras is in trouble. I thought of them really highly before the Copa Oro. I thought of them really highly, speaking of like World Cup qualifiers 2 months ago with you. But right now, if we look at the panorama of how everything's kind of shaping up, El Salvador is on the way up. And I think Honduras is on the way. I don't even know if they're on the way down. I don't know where they are. So the good thing is they have players in the Olympics that could probably help them as well in the World Cup qualifier. So it's not like they have their full squad. So we'll see how they do. But I think they're going to be playing around with that 5th position, you know? So I don't know. I would go away. If I'm Honduras, I'd go away from this Copa Oro kind of having a lot of questions about everything.
Yeah, this game especially. But yeah, I think they are kind of on the way down. You know, they're still using some OG players on their
Minor
squad.
Figueroa.
Yeah, Figueroa. I mean, Benston's been there a while as well. So if they're going to rely on them for World Cup qualifying, it's going to be tough for them. But San Potosilo, always a tough play to play, especially if they have that afternoon kickoff and the grass a little high. So, but I'm with you. I think there's some teams that, and we're going to talk about some of them in a second, where they're on the way up, and then Honduras kind of on the way down. Speaking on that, the Mexico will play the winner of Costa Rica, Canada, and it was Canada coming away with a 2-0 win. Speaking about a team kind of that we also kind of thought was on their way down, Costa Rica, and the team on their way up, Canada 2-0 win. What do you think about that? This is a big win for them. I think this is the first time they really get a signature win against a team from Central America. These type of results they're going to need moving forward.
Yeah, Canada's like, I don't know, they're like that one team that like they're good because they have players playing places. I just don't think as a team they figured it out yet, but they have like some players that play here and there. They're going to be okay. Speaking of that game, like with Costa Rica, like we both kind of agreed that they were on their way down. Like this is kind of the last push with those group of players they have. Ryan Reese, obviously Keylor Navas is not there, but he's also part of that group of older guys. What was the other guy that you were saying? Who's the
Borges
guy?
Been there.
Borges, yeah, Borges. So players like that. Campbell's still young, but he's like probably in his prime right now at this moment. So I don't know. I just think this Costa Rica, they're only a few pieces away. I don't think they're that bad. That game against Canada, they didn't attack at all. They really had no opportunities. So I don't think Canada's that much better. I just don't think Costa Rica put out their best team that day. I really don't think. So we'll see.
I think for Canada, this is a good result because they're missing their two best players before a tournament. Larkin, their best attacker, is out as well. Yeah, and they so many times we in the past I've kind of waited for them. They've had these opportunities, like not in the Gold Cup, but qualifying, like, oh, they get a result here, they're gonna really prove something. And for them to do it here, it gives them confidence because they didn't get the result against the USA earlier in the tournament in a game where they created some good chances. And here they created so many more chances. Costa Rica didn't have a shot on target.
Nope.
And they really just took it to them. And I think now moving forward to Mexico, I think Mexico are still favorites, but Canada has gained confidence in the U.S. game and what they created, in the Costa Rican game in finishing the chances they created. And, now for Canada, perfect opportunity for them where they got nothing to lose really now. Now they're playing with house money. They got the signature win for them. And now they go up against Mexico for where they have nothing to lose.
They have nothing to lose. Like I said, I think this is where they mark their, probably one of their best finishes they've had. I know they won the Copa, right? 2000.
2000? But,
yeah, 2000.
It's been
in
a
2000
while.
they won. I don't remember watching that. So, hey, they got the result against Costa Rica. They take advantage of a Costa Rica team that wasn't at their best. I do think, though, if you go to World Cup qualifying in the near future, and you have to play a home and away with Costa Rica, I don't see Canada getting a result in Saprissa Stadium. Or wherever they're going to play. I don't see that, or Nacional, wherever they play. And
going to Toronto, going to
I think they can split. I think they can split a series. They could either tie some points or share some points for sure.
Because I think for a lot of these Central American teams, it's gonna be tough going up to Canada. Especially once October, November, even March. So still could be cold. Still pretty cold in Canada around that time of year where.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Mexico too. To go up there.
Those are gonna be the majority of them. That's where you're gonna get 11. I think 11 of the the qualifiers in that time. So for them to have half of those games there, it gives them a really good chance. Like playing in Ontario, playing in Edmonton, wherever they choose to want to put this game, it's gonna be tough moving forward for them. For anybody going to Canada, I think. Plus, you add the fact they are a little more talented now than they were, and now they're getting confidence. But
I say they're on their way up. They're trying to build a little program. I think they're kind of like a win-win. Whatever happens, but they're going to obviously be in the World Cup the next time around. So I think they just want to build some momentum, see if they can sneak into a World Cup here and get 2 in a row.
Absolutely. And another team on the way up, Jamaica, loses 1-0 to USA in a very even game. And honestly, in a game where the USA goal comes late, Hope, Hoppy, call it any way you want. Header off a mistake from Blake, who's usually very consistent for Jamaica, the captain of Jamaica. If you're Jamaica, you kicking yourself. And for USA, you know what? They keep rolling. They keep finding ways to win.
They keep sneaking out. Yeah, they keep sneaking out. They snuck out against Canada. Well, first of all, they snuck out against Haiti. Okay, Haiti wasn't good enough to beat them, but they weren't rolling over Haiti. They snuck out against Canada, right? And then now Jamaica just didn't want to win. Like straight up did not want to win. Like, yeah, they were putting effort in, but when they got to the goal, like these were the worst shots I've ever seen. It's so soft, or like these little dribblers to the keeper. The first 20 seconds, this guy's like 6 feet away from the keeper and misses it. It could be 1-0 in 20 seconds. So like Jamaica was kind of like, what do we do? We're actually in this game. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And they didn't know what to do.
And you know what? That's actually, I mean, that's something that kind of you learn, right? It really is. You know, you think about, oh, what? Come on, what are they doing? What are they doing? You forget how much, if you're not put in these situations that often, if you don't take advantage of it, it's a lot. It's taught. You know what I mean? Being in tight situations, being in awkward situations, and learning how to get out of them. It's a talent. You know what I mean? It's not accidental. There's a reason some teams really excel at winning tight games and getting results when things look like they're against them, or they seem like results, because they put themselves in situations and they know how to get out of these awkward situations. And for the USA, they keep finding ways to kind of get that. It's interesting for them, because this team, you know, they're gaining confidence. They now have had 3 shutouts or 4 shutouts out of the games they've played. So their back line is also getting some. They're getting confidence as well, and their matchup is going to be interesting against Qatar, who were in control against El Salvador 3-0. In a couple minutes, El Salvador fight back and make it really interesting for the last 70 minutes. But I guess finishing up with the United States and Jamaica. I mean, for the United States, the only thing that really matters is the result, right?
That's what I'm saying. I think like you just say, you learn how to like finish games or be in close games. I think the U.S. players, I know they haven't played together, but that's probably something they have as far as experience playing wherever they are playing. So they're able to just get through these games that are tight, you know, and that's the only difference between them and the teams they beat, because they were not better than Jamaica on the field. Like Jamaica's midfield was taking every single ball, and then they were countering, and they were just quick. And Jamaica's missing pieces. Like they can get Antonio from West Ham and just different dudes they didn't call. I mean, Jamaica, every team is missing pieces. It's not their best version of every single team here. So, I mean, we don't know what Qatar else has to have, but I mean, what else they have. But everybody else, like we know there's some pieces missing for every team. So it's going to be exciting, man. I think Jamaica put up a fight. I called them beating U.S., man. I really did. My son did too, and we missed it. But we'll see. U.S. has a big task ahead of them, which is Qatar. And if they leave those kind of spaces, Qatar will score.
Yeah, I mean, quickly on, there are some players missing for Jamaica. Some guys that they're dual citizens, dual nationality, who, like you said, it's not a lot of teams that have good amount of talent. Not the best teams for a lot of these teams that you're going to see in qualifying, whether it's Jamaica, whether it's Canada, Costa Rica, Mexico, USA. But you are going to see a lot of the same pieces here moving forward. And for them, you know, they've had success in the past in the Gold Cup. A close defeat here. You know, it's not the end of the world for them. I think they are going to be one of those teams battling for that. I think that 3-4 spot is pretty open for any of these teams actually moving forward. I think Mexico, USA are favorites to get the 1-2, but I think after that it's pretty open for everybody, because we've seen Costa Rica and Honduras are on their way down, aren't up to snuff the way they used to. And so it's a perfect opportunity for these guys to come at you to get a result. And that's something we'll talk about that moving forward next month. But I think for Costa Rica, you come out of this tournament disappointed, because I think there was 2 opportunities to get results against Costa Rica and against USA that you didn't get, but it's not failed. And this team has been together. The coach has been there for a while, and good pieces to feel confident moving forward for them.
Yeah, they're looking good.
Yeah, and then so what are we taking away from that El Salvador Qatar game, where Qatar was just from the start full throttle, the way they've been playing all game long, and then El Salvador bounced back and get themselves in the game. They had an opportunity to tie it up. Qatar at least has been the most entertaining team. Lots of goals scored, 2 at the minimum, 3 most. They also allow goals. I think it's going to be a fun game against the USA.
Yeah, they play very open. I think I said it, that they were just more athletic than El Salvador. They're going to be more athletic than them. And I said if El Salvador loses the ball, I think that counter is going to hurt them. and Qatar just were all over them at the beginning. They were playing at a different speed, and then once El Salvador took a gain of the ball and let's get the ball going, they scored the third one. It was offsides, so like they were coming back, and huge shout out to El Salvador. Like I said, they're probably like we're kind of all I am at least from far away, kind of rooting for them, their fans, their people, like watching them in the stadium, like being able to go and support their team. Like to me, it's a huge deal. I think culturally, we see Mexico. Obviously, we know we're at home because we're right next door to our homeland. But like seeing El Salvador that has, the challenges of a Salvadorian that have to get to the United States and everything they have to go through to get here. It's just a big shout out to them, man, for being there and being that small country, being that small, a population, and just being excited about their team. Something to be excited about.
Yeah, and again, we'll talk World Cup qualifying moving forward. The OCT, that's going to be, I mean, they're a lot of confidence to gain from this for the way they played, how they got different results, how they battled, they kept it close with Mexico, had a chance to tie. They fought back against Qatar. So, they're not going to quit going down to San Salvador. That's going to be a battle for anybody going down there as well. Something similar they love to do. They love that afternoon kickoff. They love this. They love the weather there. Put you in tough conditions, challenge you, take advantage of what they have as a hosting nation for a qualifier. So for hats off for them. I think everybody gained a lot of respect for El Salvador from this tournament. You're seeing what a project looks like when time is taken, when opportunities given. When I think we touched about that last week, where they have a plan and they're finding different ways to take advantage of the resources they have, and these unique resources, and they're taking full advantage of it too to try to put the best team possible.
Yeah, I mean they got guys that are dual national. I mean, they got guys that are tri-national. Even Guatemala did as well, where they have players that are Mexican, Guatemalan, and United States. So these players are not getting opportunities. They're like, hey, I'll go play over there. So it's gonna be cool, man. It's good for the region to get better. We always talk about Mexico needs to be challenged, and I know it's still not the challenge they need compared to CONMEBOL, but we need CONCACAF to be better. We need the fans to show up. They're not just Mexican fans that go to the games. We need these games to be sold out. We need people to watch the games. We need the region to get better. And so that's how the rest of the, everybody else will get better.
Yeah. Okay. So quickly moving forward to, we got the semifinals on Thursday, finals on Sunday. We'll record after those next week. Who do you got in the finals? I think we both got Mexico against Canada. I expect kind of like a 2-0 win, maybe 3-1. I think Mexico will just be too overwhelming for Canada, where they're going to slow the pace down, move the ball around, defensively pressure Canada higher, and kind of be a little too much for Canada. I think they leave with like a 2-0, 3-1 win.
No, I mean, besides the fact that we're rooting for them, I think Mexico's a better team. Mexico's going to have players with more experience than the Canadian players. Obviously Davis is not even there, so you can't count him. And I just think, like I said, overwhelming is a good word, because I feel like with Mexico having the ball and getting in that third, Canada's defensive third, that's a danger play right away. I mean, you've seen it from Orbelin, you've seen it from Funes Mori. If you give him one little space, he's going to touch it and shoot it. So I could just see, Canada is going to be overwhelmed with having to defend these guys and not being able to play that free. So I could see them playing very defensive and hoping to try to get Mexico on a counter or something else.
Yeah,
Mexico's going to win.
Yeah, I think something Mexico's done all tournament long has been they've been the team on the forefront every game. You know what I mean? There's been some times where the other team might have 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the game. I mean, you're not playing alone at the end of the day. But for Mexico, I think for the most part, they've been very consistent in the manner of which they take the games to their opponents. And so I think here it's going to be the same thing for them. And I think Mexico's in the finals, you as well. For the other semifinals, I think Qatar USA hasn't played a team that attacks the way Qatar does. And while they have been gaining confidence and getting better, they're still not, this isn't a cohesive unit of a team yet. And this might be just where USA holds on for a bit, but maybe Qatar overwhelms them little by little. I think USA are going to have chances to counter, to get goals. This sets up for a perfect old school USA game where they find these opportunities during set pieces or quick counters to get an opportunity against Qatar. But I think Qatar probably is a little better team entering tomorrow.
I think so too, but I'm still going to get USA on this one. I think USA is going to win this game. I don't think they're better than Qatar. I think Qatar, like we said before, has international experience. They're really not backing down. They're going to go with the ball. And I think if US, just based on what US has done, if USA plays the way they played against any of these teams they played, except Martinica, Qatar will score the opportunities that ID had no chance of scoring, that Jamaica did not want to score. You know, if you give Qatar those kind of spaces, bro, they're going to put them away. So that's going to be dangerous for the United States. I think they're going to respect that a little bit. But I still feel like it's going to be something like the Jamaica game where Qatar might have the ball a little more. Qatar might look like they're more dangerous, but I see USA winning off like 1 goal off a header or something, minute 82 or something.
All right, so I got Qatar in the finals against Mexico. You got USA against Mexico in the finals. I got Mexico winning it on Sunday in Las Vegas. I think with Qatar, my final idea is I don't think it'll be a high scoring affair. I think it'll be more like, I can see like a 2-0 win. I think the thing for Mexico is the fact that they just haven't allowed a goal. I think they're very confident defensively, even though they kind of, do these wonky things every once in a while. But for me, the most pleasing game is Qatar, Mexico in the final. And Mexico kind of just shows their quality over time and knows how to siphon and slow down this Qatar team, where they have the talent with like Corona, if he's on, Orbelin, if he's on, Fujimori's up top, to take advantage, unlike some of these other teams that haven't been able to against Qatar more.
Yeah, Mexico's going to outclass either one, Qatar or US in the final. I think the back line is solid. Like you said, the keeper's doing their thing. They have a clean sheet. I think the biggest thing also, like you got to see from game to game, Trinidad and Tobago, the Mexican team came out hard, but they got shook. They got shook by a life-threatening injury here that we didn't know what was going on with Chucky, right? And the fact the referee swallowed his whistle a couple of times, they didn't call like these blatant calls or review them. So Mexico was like, wait, what's going on here? So they were just shook that game. I don't think they played terrible. They were just shook. They didn't get, don't forget, Funes Mori scored a goal that was counted offsides. That wasn't. So, we can just keep going that way. Then Guatemala, Mexico showed like maybe half a game of excellence. But then against Honduras, it was just all around, all Mexico, 3-0. They could have scored 6 if they really wanted to keep going. I think at that point, they were just trying to save their legs, get some guys in. Even Pizarro touched the field. So I think Mexico has just been progressing through the tournament. Tata's been finding the little group that he needs. And I think going into, they're going to show their class against Canada. And then whoever they play in the final, Mexico's going to I think with their experience, they're going to outclass them.
All right. Yeah, so there you go. That's our semifinal final preview. We both got Mexico winning. We got different finals set up. But yeah, it's all sets it up there. And we're going to take a quick break, be right back. And we're going to head to Japan, where the Olympic Mexico team is now in the quarterfinals as well.